Welcome back to Telltale for take 2 of our attempt at recording a review of The Graveyard Rats by Henry Kuttner. I'm Greg.
I'm Emily.
And Henry Kuttner, of course, is best known for science fiction. He has already been reviewed by us when we talked about his very famous short story, The Twonky, which he wrote in the 1940s about an alien TV set.
Love it. Was it a TV set or was it a...
It was a TV set.
I thought it was a radio for some reason.
Okay. Maybe it was. Maybe I'm wrong.
Something
I'm known
like
to be wrong.
Who knows? Who knows?
So, he actually got his start in Weird Tales magazine with this story, The Graveyard Rats, which was published in, I forget if it's 1936 or 1937. And it's... I'll let you do the synopsis.
Okay. So basically, this gentleman is a gravedigger / graveyard keeper. And unfortunately, he is not a very good man. He has been using that job as a guise to protect him and give him access to grave robbing. And selling bodies as cadavers and various other things. So he's kind of a jerk. So he's a very unsympathetic character. But one particular body in this story has some really nice cufflinks, so he's digging up the grave after a couple of days of it being in the ground. And when he does, he sees 2 feet just sliding out of the one side of the coffin that has a hole chewed in it. And so prior to that, you get a little explanation that there's this urban legend of these very rats of unusual size that live in the graveyard. And so he tries to combat that this isn't real, like it's an urban legend, but the rats are real. He is constantly fighting them. He is constantly trying to grab the bodies before the rats do, because they just go in there and do whatever they want and eat the bodies before he can sell them or steal from them. So this time, in some bold, greedy, irrational decision, he decides he's just gonna go after the stinking rats that are dragging this body out and fetch the body back.
And I think Saoirse's going to be just as bold.
Yeah, she's my cat.
She's interested in something that she probably shouldn't be interested in.
There's probably a bug or something over there. The cat. The cats have been in rare form today at my house. So... yeah. But anyway, so the story is basically the exploration of these tunnels as he's chasing this body, and of course the terror that ensues. I'm trying to decide. First take, I ended up spoiling it. We had to reshoot because we did our first take outside and the wind was just too much, so we fought it. I'm trying to decide if I should spoil it again. I don't know.
It's a really short story.
It is really short.
And it's almost 100 years old.
Yeah, I suppose.
Go
Spoiler alert! So as he's going through the tunnel, he realizes the tunnel is collapsing and not very stable. So he realizes, I can't keep following these rats. And eventually he loses track of them anyway. So he tries to back into a side tunnel that he sees and flip around and get back out the other way. But as he's doing that, more rats come and they start to chase him. And they're kind of, nibbling at him and trying to get him. And he's trying to shoot him with a gun that he happens to have on hand because gravekeepers just do that. I guess used to fight off fight off other grave robbers, whatever. But so he's crawling through this tunnel, and then in one side tunnel, he realizes there's another mass that is not a rat. It ends up being this frickin' mummy thing that is undead, and starts crawling after him, and he starts having this, hectic, basically going hysterical, runs into a grave, or, a coffin, thinking it's the one he needs to escape, only to realize... it's not. It's one that's already previously buried, that the body's already been stolen from by the rats. So he ends up suffocating / getting eaten by rats.
Yeah.
In the end. So, his uppance have come. So, his comeuppance has occurred. So, you kind of are, glad he dies in the end because he's really unsympathetic. And you just know, there's no way he's getting out of this alive. There are too many things going wrong at once. There's also this kind of fun, unreliable narrator. Is the mummy real? Is it not? because you don't know in his hysterics if it's really
see it really well.
Yeah, like if it's really legit or not even. Like, is he just hallucinating this because he's panicking? Like, what else? But it makes for a great story. It's a good spooky one. It's a really quick read.
Yeah, it's very short. I think it's like 4 pages or
Yeah, like 15
4 or 5
minutes.
pages. Yeah, very, very quick read, but very, very powerful.
Yes.
Not so much Lovecraftian, more like Edgar Allan Poe.
Yes. Definitely really nice prose. Definitely very
The Black Cat or Telltale Heart, where the bad guy gets it in the end.
Yes, really like that vibe. Really good descriptors without being too wordy. I feel like it would be... I would call it more Poe if it was wordier. I don't know that I have a good descriptor for this one, but it was a really good horror. I really enjoyed it.
Especially when you consider it's his first published story.
Yeah. Really well done.
Really amazing for first time out.
Yeah, so it's a top tale for me.
Oh yeah, definitely a top tale.
Yeah.
And it's been anthologized a lot, collected a lot. There's any number of books that have this story in, but it also, I believe it's public domain. You can definitely find it online. You can find PDFs of the Weird Tales issue that it was in online, which is where I read it, because
That's where I read it too.
have a book of it.
Yes.
But there are published books that quite a variety of them that have this. It's one of the better known early horror stories from Weird Tales and has been printed a lot.
Yes, it's definitely a goodie. And I just really enjoyed it because it's for busy lifestyles. I always say this. I know I'm going to sound like a broken record, but for busy lifestyles, short stories are a fantastic way of getting good stories and good literature without having to dedicate your life several hours at a time to finich and accomplish a great work.
Contrast this with War and Peace, which Samantha still has never finished.
You know,
it's only been a little more than a year. It's like a year and 3 months.
That's a hard one to get through, though. But you guys are going to be tackling another big one too. It by Stephen King soon.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's great to enjoy longer pieces of literature if you have the time. But if you have a really busy lifestyle, short stories are a good way to go. And this is just another great short story that you can enjoy if you want something fun for spooky season without dedicating a ton of time to something that's 700 pages long.
Yeah.
Or more.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a good go-to, I think. It's really well done. It's just really, like, just giving you the synopsis is not enough. You need to read it to understand why it's good. It's the prose, the writing, the descriptors, the characterization, all done so well in such a short span of pages. Go read it. It's great. Anything further you want to?
No, I agree.
Yeah, I think this is probably the shortest video we've ever done. Almost?
No, not quite.
All right. But yeah, go read it. Go enjoy it. Like and subscribe. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.